Orcs here, and today we are continuing our playthrough of the Princes of the Apocalypse. And I need to open to Discord and... Okay. So, let's do a quick recap. You guys all met in the village of Red Larch. After meeting together and listening to some stories, you all found yourselves working together on a quest for Kaylessa at the Swinging Sword to investigate Lance Rock. It was during this investigation that you met a necromancer who was a little crazy. And once you returned to town, you were discussing the experience that you had had when something very strange had happened. A large sinkhole opened up in the middle of town, and after diving inside to rescue the civilians that had fallen in, you discovered there was a cave system that ran underneath the town. And investigating this series of rooms and caverns, you found that apparently there is a cult at work in Red Larch. A group that calls themselves the Believers. And these Believers had apparently been doing some things to try and mask themselves from the town's presence. Within these caverns under Red Larch, we found several corpses. People, it seems, the Believers had silenced in order to try and mask themselves. And you also found other evidence of wrongdoing. Namely, the Mirabor trade bars that you found on the Earth cultist who attacked you when you walked in. And after working your way through the Tomb of Moving Stones and returning back to the surface, Red Larch has been shook by the news of this cult group that was operating here. Most of the members have been ran out of town, all except for Haliver Galker, who for some reason has been left alone entirely, and while the others have either fled or been arrested by Constable Harbrook. And the days afterward have been very restless. Neighbor has turned on neighbor. Nobody trusts each other anymore, and your days at the inn have been very anxious. And that is where we are going to be picking up. The party still staying at a room in the Swinging Sword Inn, courtesy of Kaylessa, who has stopped charging you for the room because you are such a boon to the town. She's very grateful, and this is her way of showing gratitude. So what would you guys like to do?
Well, Clementine is probably sleeping in because she probably got kind of drunk the night before, as a sign of relief of thank God we got that over. I'm gonna get drunk and just drink my worries away.
Sam's probably just maybe sitting to yourself in the tavern, just quietly contemplating to yourself, just wondering where fate will take her next.
Oaf will just be kind of thinking about whether or not, just kind of thinking about what we're going to be doing, and kind of thinking about that. We found a note that said Mirabor, correct?
Not a note. These were like metal blocks of ore. These were trade bars, so they were, and they were definitely stamped with Mirabor. And I do believe at the end of the last session, I think it was you that drew the association between these trade bars and the missing Mirabor delegation.
Yeah. There was that whole thing about a group that was coming down from the north.
Yes.
That apparently got attacked or something. That might be something we wanted to investigate.
Yeah, Oaf would be kind of just up. Maybe I think Oaf would have probably spent some time trying to fill in that hole. Helping out with the effort to repair the big hole in the earth.
Okay.
And at this point, Clementine's probably gonna wake up and just like, her hair's in a mess and, just like kind of mosey on outside and see where everybody's at and look at Oaf and be like, well, I guess I could help with that. And then she kind of does a little stretch. And I do not have mold earth. So I guess we can just put up a big old warning sign. Warning hole.
Well, I think that'll be just fine there. I was thinking I'm probably gonna head north and, see if there's some information about them, them folks who went missing on the road. So, I don't know. I thought maybe you'd like to join me.
Well, yeah, of course. We gotta see, where this leads to. I mean,
You're not supposed to go to Belliard.
These this cult could be connected to other cults, maybe, in a sense, and we'll just find our way around and see if we can just get them. I mean, there's still people getting killed and stuff, so let's just go out and see what we can do. Maybe earn some money along the way.
Yeah, I think, it's a little concerning, and I think that, them that attacked our home, those people with the fire, I think they might be tied up in all this. I was just thinking, if there's Earth, well, there might be something to do with that.
Yeah,
things feel sick,
Yeah, and did we see any of the the symbols that we saw in the Necromancer's lair? Did we see any of those symbols in the Undertown?
Yes.
Okay.
You would have.
Okay.
I'm just trying to find where it would be located.
Sorry. So yeah, I think with that knowledge, then she would just, Clementine would probably be like, yes, it's, them symbols must be connected.
So this symbol that you would have seen, it looks like a triangle with a line that comes up from the base about midway to the point. And you should be able to see it here on your screen.
Okay. Yeah, I do see it.
That definitely was part of on the Dark Sigil that we found at the Warlock's Cave.
I just realized that everything that you've given us is over here.
In your journal? Yeah.
In our journal, yeah. Alright, so I guess, what time of day is it? Is it morning still?
Yep.
Okay, alright. I guess we're gonna resupply on rations and stuff like that. And get some provisions and head on down the road to, where was it, Mirabor? Was it the town?
Well, that was where they had come from. Very, very far up the coast.
Oh, okay.
So we're looking at a few days to a few weeks travel?
Potentially.
We could look into getting one of those carriages. That might speed things up a bit, or at least make it easier.
Maybe. How much is a carriage, though? Generally, livestock is pretty expensive.
As you're having this conversation, I'm assuming this is just happening in like the common area of the Swinging Sword.
Mm-hmm.
So Kaylessa's gonna come up, and she kind of sets down some trays in front of you, and she starts wiping her hands on her apron. So, did I hear you right? You're headed off to Mirabor?
That's what we're planning on, because we saw some of them folk that were headed from Mirabor that had gone missing, and they were dead under the ground.
Oh.
In the Undertown. We found these bars here, and I guess gestured to one of the bars that we found on one of the bodies of the cultists.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely from Mirabor, but that's so far away. I mean, if you're looking into the Delegation, might I recommend Belliard?
How far away is that, ma'am?
Well, Belliard is it's here in the Desserin Valley, and rumor says that the Mirabor delegation was seen there maybe 10 days ago?
I guess it could be worth looking into.
Yeah, and it's a lot closer. So I suppose we can mosey on up there and see what we can find. Oh.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Better than just wandering.
Well, in any regard, you know that wherever you may travel, you always have a room here at the Sword. But I think Constable Harbrook wanted to see you as well. Maybe check in with him before you leave town?
Yeah, most definitely. We'll check in and make sure that them ruffians are in the meat cooler, nice and tight.
Yeah. Good idea.
By the way, Miss Kayla, so we have appreciated all of your hospitality and letting us use your room, and we apologize for the whole put in your room and stuff like that. But at least I wanted to tell you my appreciation and you housing us for a couple days.
No, it is I who should thank you. You got rid of that necromancer hiding in Lance Rock, and even though our small village may not feel safer, I know it is to the best that the believers are gone. You've done so much for Red Larch already. It's an honor to have you in my inn.
I give her a hug before, we skedaddle. I'm a very huggy person. So I guess we're gonna go down. Where's the constable at again?
I believe he's at the corner, the intersection of the long road here. I think it's number 11. Help us if I have my notes up.
Well, I don't see
Gizmo, 25 months. Thank you very much, man. You know I love you and everything you do for us. How are you doing today? Okay, yes, number 11. So I will put it on your map.
Okay.
Maybe.
I reckon it's across the street from the shrine. Either way.
Yep, down that direction.
Butcher. Alrighty.
So, when you go to the butcher shop, you can see there's no one really outside, but it is a public establishment. The doors are open, and it is midday, so you would be able to walk right in.
Okay, I'll just walk right on in and see if it's open and stuff.
Okay, when you walk in, you can see a man, and he's got just some very plain clothes on, and he's got an apron tied around in front of him, and his hair is pulled back in a white piece of cloth, and you can see that his clothes are stained red, as are his hands, and he's currently at work cutting into the carcass of what looks to be a large animal. And as he cuts, he takes a strip of meat and he sets it in a tray to the side, and he goes back to cutting, removes it and sets it aside. He doesn't even seem to have noticed that you have entered.
Okay, I guess, Clementine, very friendly. She's gonna be like, howdy. How you doing?
Oh, scared me, you did.
Oh, I'm sorry. So we, you're the constable of this lovely little village, right?
Oh, well, right now, I'm Harbrick the butcher. He reaches up and he pulls the cloth rag off his head, and he walks over to a rack hanging on a nearby wall, and he grabs like a sheriff's hat and puts it on, and then he pins a little badge to his shirt. Now I'm the constable.
Nice to meet you, Constable. I'm Clementine. This here is Little Sin, and this over here is Oaf. And we were over there at Kayles's, and she said that you might want to speak to us. We were the ones that had uprooted the town down under, the cult down under. So.
Yeah, I'm aware. I spent the last couple nights rounding up the believers, and had a couple things I had to settle with y'all.
Okay.
Well, yeah, let's get settled then. What do you need?
Well, firstly, there's this. And he pulls out a small leather bag, and as he kind of, moves in his hand, you can hear coins rattling. And then he tosses it back towards Oaf.
She catches it.
When we arrested the believers and seized their assets, most of what they had was claimed as town property. After reviewing our friend the leatherworker's books, it looks like you guys had recently done business with Lureth.
Yeah, indeed we had.
Well, as much as you have done for Red Larch, didn't feel honest to keep your coin knowing you wouldn't receive your payment. So, I'm refunding what you had paid to Mr. Lureth.
Was that 20 gold? Can't remember.
Sure.
That's about right.
It was totally 1,000 gold. Don't believe that.
Oh, I'm afraid he didn't have that many coins.
So yeah, are those ruffians still back there in the meat cooler?
Yeah. I found them to be less than cooperative in discussing their business dealings here in Red Larch. It's quite difficult, you see. Go ahead.
Do you want us to try to take a little gander and slap them around a little bit,
Well, you can if you'd like, but I don't want you to resort to violence. That would be most unkind of you. But I also can't believe that they would have done this. I grew up with them. We were friends.
Yeah, well, sometimes you can't trust your neighbors. They always say, go to your neighbor if you need some help, but sometimes it's the neighbor that's kidnapping your other neighbor and stuff, so them killing our, this townsfolk wasn't very kind to them. But, I guess I'll save, these guns, and Eric Clementine kind of flexes a little bit for a later time. Did you have anything else you wanted to talk to us about, Mr. Constable?
He kind of looks sheepishly for a moment. Well, ugliness with the believers aside, there is something I would like to trouble you with, if you don't mind.
Okay.
I guess I should preface this request with that I don't have any way to pay you. You know, I actually am just a volunteer myself. Red Larch doesn't have a formal government or organization, and if you were to do this, it would be strictly pro bono.
I mean, I'm fine with that, honestly. Like, you know, whatever will help y'all and secure y'all a little bit better before we journey on forth would be. Well, it would put my conscience at ease. Are y'all okay with that? Oath and sin?
Yeah, well, most of what we've done so far hasn't been for money, so...
It's just been kind of bonus.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. This means so very much to me. One day I will think of a way to repay you, I promise.
Well, for right now, just keep the town safe, you know? That's all we can... And you know, as much as I appreciate and agree with Clementine here, I have to say, you know, sometimes your neighbors are pretty trustworthy. It's just that greater powers were at play than, you know, they could really comprehend, I think. And they probably got swept up in some unpleasantness. But, you know, I think that from what we know, these fine folks that are left, you know, they seem pretty normal. So, you know, I think what I would want as payment is for you to do your best to heal the town. So, you know, take any funds you give me for whatever in the future and just help these fine folks out.
I do have one small favor, or question at least.
Yes?
Any chance would you have any equipment to help better protect us? And I look down on myself like armor, maybe?
I'm sorry,
Or
miss.
point us in somewhere where we could get some?
He gestures to his butcher garb. We just don't have the necessary funds for things like that. I am very sorry.
I understand.
Do you think the tannery has anything left over in it? Or would that be, you know, not for us?
Well, I
I
wish
don't
you
want to
had
say,
come
well,
to me
let's go loot
sooner.
the place, but...
We had sent all of the confiscated property that belonged to the believers. We've sent it on ahead to Neverwinter to be sold. We plan to use the coin to repair the sinkhole.
Okay.
That is a much more useful cause.
Haha!
We'll get you some armor. Don't worry, Sam. So... What was that favor that you were gonna ask of us?
There is a local farmer. His name is Larman. He says that he saw some strange men on the edge of his property. Said they were digging a hole. They threw something very large inside. He's been too scared to return to his property, and he wanted me to investigate, but I've been much too busy here in town.
Yeah, we can go investigate that hole. Oath, are you okay with that, Sin?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I think that's you know, like I said, better to go someplace with purpose rather than wander the woods.
All right, where's this farm located at?
It's outside of town, less than an hour's walk, but you might want to talk with Larman, see if he has any more to the story. I believe he's been hanging out at the barber.
Where's the barber?
It's north of town, I think. I don't know. Butcher, Finestone, Iron.
Well, we'll head that way right away.
Number 17. Hey, here it is. Oh, thank you very much.
By the way, Mr. Constable, did you find a small boy down there, or have you looked around? Because we found a small child down there in the down under, and he was being starved and punished for what God knows what they punish people for. But we ended up taking him to the Swinging Sword and with us, and he disappeared the night or the morning of us being attacked in the inn.
I do know who you're speaking about. Yeah. The young lad has been sent to the orphanage.
Okay. Is the orphanage now?
It's here in town.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want to speak, if you want to see him, it would be Mother Yolantha's. And it's right next to the helm at High Sun.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You have a nice day there.
We'll let you know whenever we get the job done. All right.
Yes. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And I guess we skedaddle on out. And
Yeah.
I would like to stop by the orphanage because it looks like it's on the way. And I just want to see, just a quick pop in, just to see how the little boy's doing and stuff. And
Yeah, I definitely want to make sure he's alright. So I guess we'll make our way over there.
let's see here, where is my character sheet?
Okay. As you approach, you can see that the boarding house is dilapidated and run down. It has several balconies that overlook the field outside. And as you make your way towards the office, it's a warren of narrow and creaky floored passages that snake around rooms that have been made of flimsy wooden material. As you walk around, there is you turn a corner and almost run directly into a rail-thin, pipe-smoking woman with a raspy voice. Hello? What are you doing here?
We came to see that little boy who came by, who was part of the cult. He was basically held hostage in a way, but we just wanted to see him real quick and see how he's doing. Mrs.
Yarlantha.
What a beautiful name.
He's around here somewhere. Everybody just comes and goes. Don't really keep tabs on them much.
Oh, you don't know how many children you have in here in this establishment?
Children? Lady, this is a boarding house. People need a shelter. I have it. They come and go. Not really my business.
Okay, alright. Do you know where he might be at, or do I just need to wander around and look for him?
She shrugs, takes a heavy drag on her pipe, and starts shuffling away.
Okay. Alright. I'm gonna go and, I guess, kind of knock on the doors and be like, God, what was his name? It was like, I know it was in,
I can't remember.
I'm just gonna call, oh boy, and hopefully he'll recognize my voice.
Boy!
Boy!
I'm trying to find his token on the other map. I can't find it. I'm gonna have to read. I don't want to read.
I'm making you do extra work. I'm sorry. It's just, this is what Clementine would do. She would be absolutely worried for this kid,
No, the players can't
especially
see
after
that,
seeing
Zico.
this old woman, this old hag taking care of him. Or not
Sin
even.
Sin is right with you, wanting to find him as much as well. Making sure he's
Braylon.
alright, he's well fed.
Braylon, there we go, Braylon.
Braylon, what was his last name? Hatherhand.
Braylon Hatherhand, okay. Alrighty.
Write it down.
Right. Braylon! Braylon, where at?
You see, there's a man. He's just kind of like slumped in the hallway of the boarding house, and his legs are splayed out. He's half conscious.
Excuse me, mister. Have you seen a little boy named Braylon around here? He's a little skinny thing.
Yeah, I saw a boy.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
Yeah, I saw him, and then poor thing ran off, fell in a well and died.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, this must have been
I
10,
want to hand him.
20 years ago. Wow,
Oh,
tragic.
Okay, we're not gonna get anywhere with you. I'm just gonna keep going down the hallway and yelling out his name. Braylon! Braylon, where you at?
Glares at the man.
You see him, he rounded the corner, and he's standing outside, and he's just kind of like throwing rocks into the road, skipping them from one side to the other. He turns back and looks at you, and then he turns away and goes back to throwing the pebbles.
Aw. I guess, Clementine's gonna go over there and how old is he? He's pretty short, ain't he?
He was 9.
Okay, yeah. Clementine's just gonna kinda duck next, or not duck, but just kinda crouch next to him and kinda get level with him. And she's gonna be like, "Hey, how you doing? How you holding up around here?"
They arrested my daddy.
He wasn't doing very nice things, though. And I know you don't want to,
I don't think you did a very nice thing.
well, your daddy was killing people.
They make me live here now. It
Well, I'm
stinks,
here.
and everybody's scary.
I'm about to get you out of this place. How would you like to stay with Miss Kaylessa? She's a lot nicer.
He kind of looks up hopeful for a moment, and he turns away. How do I know it's not another trick?
I promise you it's not another trick. And I hold out my hand. Or, Clementine holds out her hand. And she's like, "Trust me, I'm not going to put you in a place like this. I've been looking for you for, all morning to see where you're at."
He looks up at you again. You can tell he's unsure, but he's really scared. So he takes your hand.
Sweet. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and walk him down the road over here to the swinging sword, and I'm gonna call for Kaylessa.
Yeah, it's a regular
Miss
game.
Kaylessa, are you around here?
She pops her head out. Yeah?
Okay. So I don't want to burden you with this, but that boarding house down there ain't the place for a child, and I'm gonna go ahead and
heavens,
hand
no!
her-
Is that
I'm
where
gonna
you've
go
been,
ahead
child?
Yeah, he's been there. I'm gonna go ahead and hand Kaylessa 20 gold, and I'm gonna tell her, this should pay for a while for him. To,
Kaylessa, she waves her hand and shakes her head. No. I told you, your gold has no value at the swinging sword. I will take the boy, but you should steer clear of Mother Yolanta's.
Well, I still want you to take it so that way you can get him, some clothing, some food and stuff like that, and maybe even go down to like a...
She cuts you off and leans in close. and begins to whisper. I heard that Mother Yolantha is actually just a front, and that it's a Zentarum flophouse.
Oh, what flophouse?
The Zentarum? You know, the Black Network? Spies, degenerates, thugs.
Oh. Okay, well, yeah, that is no place for that little boy. Well, I'm gonna... Okay. I'm still gonna go ahead and give him, the little boy, 10 gold, though. That way he can go out and, like, get, you know, himself clothing, toys, you know, and stuff like that. Just so that way he can have some normalcy in his life.
She nods, and she takes him in. I'll set him up with the room right next to you.
Thank you. I appreciate this, Kaylessa, because, you know, you agree with me that boarding house is no place for him. And I ruffle the little boy's hair a little bit, you know, Braylon.
He kind of pulls away at your touch. Still clearly hasn't forgiven you for, you know, uprooting his entire world.
I know. I feel bad, but you know.
Good, I'm doing my job.
In the long run, yeah, he'll be better. I just have to kind of keep telling myself that. Alrighty, I guess down to the barber we go to see where that old farmer is.
Yes.
Gelker. Right. That's number.
Also, on the way to the barber, say, you know, I gotta say that was good what you did for him.
Oh shit! I popped it out.
You know, we made life harder for him. He's gonna have a real tough go of it for the next little while, and I think it's real nice that you stepped up like that. So, thank you for you know, putting some good out into the world.
Yeah, you know, you can't just, if you can't even help your neighbor, you know, what good are you to save the world, or, you know, save your hometown, or whatever you want to do. You know, I just saw him skinny and afraid and didn't know where he was, and, you know, to see him in, like, the little boarding house, like, that dilapidated crud with, you know, now that I know that there's bad people in there, I couldn't just leave him in there.
No child deserves to live like that.
I'm real glad to be with people who are good and true. I knew you were, but this just confirms it for me.
All right. Well, I guess we're gonna see about this farmer and see how we can help him out, and try to leave our last little punch in this village before we head out. So I guess we're gonna... Is it just like an open door, or is it like a...
Actually, no. As you approach the building, you see that this seedy little wooden building serves as Red Larch's barber shop. And as you approach, you see posted outside of the barber shop are two very large men. And each of them is kind of leaning on a wooden grate club with one arm, and in their other arm they hold a large clay jug that even at a distance you can smell has the unmistakable and very potent odor of homemade alcohol.
Ooh, Clementine's just gonna say, hi, how y'all folks doing today? My name's Clementine. What y'all got in there? It smells pretty dang good.
What business do you have with Marlandro?
Oh, well, you know, we were, wait, who?
They look at each other, and they kind of stiffen up and kind of block the door.
Oh, dear. Well, actually, we were looking for somebody else. We were looking for a farm folk. and he told us that, or you know, somebody told us that he was hanging around here.
Name.
Do we get his name?
Yeah, we got it starts with an L.
Larman.
Larman, yeah.
The men kind of look at each other, and the one nods to the second. He turns around and walks inside, whereas the first man puts up a hand. Wait here. After a moment, the second one returns, and he leans in and whispers something. And then he nods. All right, you can go inside, but weapons at the door.
Okay.
You know, if that's what it takes, sure.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this isn't really, you know, I hold up my little staff. I was like, this is, you know, my walking stick. Is this considered a weapon?
he looks at it and he looks at you. Walking stick.
Yeah, it's just a little walking stick, you know, just to kind of poke things around and stuff. Make sure there ain't no snakes gonna jump out of the bushes and nibble at my ankles.
Shut up and go inside.
Okay. Yes, sir. I do leave my, I think I have a scimitar? If I remember correctly? I'm not sure. Let's see. Yeah, I got a longbow and, you know, a scimitar, but I do get to keep my walking stick. AKA my quarterstaff.
I know,
So,
the same as Sin has a quarterstaff, which is also where her, gym that does her spells attached to. So, like, would she keep that as well?
I don't know, I guess we'll just, you know, if they stop us, and I'll just keep walking inside.
So, you guys walk inside, and it's a very small, cluttered shop, right? And it is positively full of customers, all of which just kind of are lounging around, most of them with mugs of ale or other, you know, whiskey bottles, alcohol. All of them are drinking. And there's a couple chairs in the middle of the room, and there's scattered hair clippings on the floor, but nobody is actively getting a haircut. No actual barbering is occurring. They're all just kind of hanging out, and you know, when you walk in, they're all kind of staring at you. One man kind of parts the crowd of people. You see that his clothes, right away, he stands out. Finely trimmed beard, dark hair slicked back from his head. He's got golden jewelry on his wrists, around his neck, in his teeth. You could see he's got a gold cap. And as he comes out, he kind of plays with his mustache as he sneers at you. Yes. What brings you to Marlandro Gaukers?
Ain't you fancy? Well, you know, we were actually looking for Larman, the farmer.
And what business do you have with good Sir Larman?
Well, you know, we heard that he was having some trouble out on the farm, and we were just out here, you know, seeing if we could get a little bit of intel and seeing what's troubling him.
Intel? Nosy bunch, aren't you? Yes. And everybody starts laughing like it's the most hilarious thing they ever heard.
Clementine starts laughing too, like, ah! You know, like, kind of trying to join in.
It stays stone-faced.
Sin is, like, almost, like, trying to look brave, but it's, like, slightly cowardly. Like, just, like, scared slightly.
So, are you gonna let us see him, or are you just wasting our time? Because, you know, daylight's burning. We need to get on down the road.
Oh, well, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I just really wanted to see who these heroes of Red Larch were, after all. After everything you've done against the believers, yes.
Well, we uprooted the Down Under and saved some of the town, but...
Oh, yes. You've truly saved us, haven't you?
Yeah, sarcasm. Alright. So where's he at? I kind of look around to see if any of them look a little farmly, overalls or whatever.
Hey, thanks for the follow, Zico. So he looks at you, and he kind of shakes his finger coyly. First you answer my question. What business do you have with Sir Landro?
Mister, I've already answered your question. If you don't remember, I ain't the brightest, but
now,
I just told you.
You are in my place of business. How dare you? It is truly bad manners to come in here and offer nothing and expect something in return.
With the gold adorning your body there, it looks like you got plenty more than, what I could offer you.
Well, yes, of course.
Unless,
I may be but a simple barber, but I'm nothing if not a businessman. So what business do you have to offer good Marlandro?
Do you have any... Do you... Oh, shoot. Do you need our services of any kind? Do you need anything done? Because we ain't exactly the richest of folk. We are just trying to make do with what we've got.
Well, I can understand not always having access to coin, and, let us say I give you access to my friend, and then, we'll just say that you owe me.
I look to Oath and Sin and see what they say, because I don't want to be in debt to somebody. I don't like that.
Oath looks at him and says, so we are going to go help your friend with a problem on his farm, right? And we're going to owe you money or services in case, just so you can let us talk to him. Is that true?
Who said me and Sir Larman are friends? Maybe
you did.
Let us theoretically talk, and this is entirely for legal purposes. Let's say allegedly that I had Mr. Landro, and allegedly he was incapacitated at the moment, and you wish to speak with him. So I would, of course, hypothetically speaking, need to allow him a reprieve from his current position. What will you give me in return?
So wait, knock him out? He's unconscious?
What? Whoever said that?
You just said he was incapacitated, so...
Oh, no, we were speaking in hypotheticals, madam.
Oh, well,
Hypothetically
speaking... Can I do an insight check just to see if he's,
Is it necessary?
Can I really
right now?
Yeah, is it really necessary?
Yeah. Oath is gonna do it. But hypothetically speaking, why would he be in such a state?
Oh, well, let's say that he owed me something and was unable to deliver. And hypothetically speaking, if somebody were to owe me and not follow through on their promise, my friends here would break their legs.
Wait. So what did he owe you?
That is no concern of yours?
Well, maybe we can, relieve his debt if we can. And then you can just let him go.
He strikes his chin, plays with his mustache some more.
You're gonna get that all oily if you keep doing that.
That is the point, madame. The oil that naturally occurs on one's skin, rubbing it into your beard and mustache will help keep it oiled and it will retain its luster.
Mustache.
I'll tell you what. If you would be so willing as to retrieve young Larman's parcel, then I will let you speak with him.
Where's his parcel at?
Is it on his farm?
No, actually, it is here in town. And, unfortunately, it was confiscated by one Constable Harbrook.
What's important that's in his parcel? That's the question.
That does not matter to you. What you are looking for is a brown lockbox with a gold inlay, to which here is the key. And he produces it and holds it up in front of you. He puts the key back in his pocket, and he says, "Break into Constable Harbrook's. Bring me the lockbox, unopened, and I will give you Sir Larman."
Or, I look around. Clementine looks around. How many people are in there?
Easily a dozen.
A dozen. Okay. All right. Dang, this surely is a pickle. Cause I don't know what's in that lockbox. That
You hear a muffled cry from the back of the shop. Just a followed by a hoof as somebody gets the wind knocked out of him. Marlandro smiles at you. Pay no attention to that.
I'm guessing that's your friend. Dang. Let's see here. Well, I do not.
They don't know what to do. Alternatively, if you felt so inclined, you just recoup the cost of the item that was lost to me. I would consider this payment as well.
How much was it?
3 golden coins.
10.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I was gonna hand him 3, but go ahead, little Soon. Flash around that gold.
So you reach out with 10 coins. He rattles them in his hand. There we go. This is most agreeable.
Just let him go, please.
Well, my men will be most disappointed. But, boys? And he kind of snaps his fingers. And then you see 2 more men just come and throw him on the floor of the barber shop.
Are his legs really broken, though?
He looks to be badly beaten.
Okay. I guess
over 3 gold.
Over 3 gold. Okay. All right.
Are they still in the place, or did they leave?
Oh, you're still in Galker's.
No,
Yeah.
The guys there, are they still there, or did they leave?
Oh no, they're still there. Yeah. Gauker looks at the 10 coins again, and he says, if you have that many coins laying around, maybe we can do business.
Sin just glares at him.
I am a man with a means to get things.
A means to get things. Okay, well, let's say you're, we'll just keep this on a range.
Allegedly.
I have a thing you could get there, Gelker. It's a real important thing. How much coin would it take for you to get out of town?
Oh, I'm sorry, miss, but this is my town. I run things here. Especially now that you have removed the rest of the Elder Council.
Okay. Man, we are just uprooting things.
It is
okay.
It is good that you've come to see me today. It is time you met the new master of Red Larch.
So wouldn't you owe us a favor, because we basically just took out the competition and helped you out, wouldn't you owe us a favor in that sense?
He opens his mouth to say something and then immediately snaps it shut.
Okay, well, you know what? Take a rain check on that, and we'll be back whenever we need your services there, good sir. And I'm gonna Clementine's gonna turn around and
I'll
walk
tell
out.
you what! He shouts out after you as you're leaving. My favor to you will be that I won't have your arms and legs dislocated for that bit of disrespect. You will learn that you will fear Marlandro Galker.
The only thing you should fear is, your beard getting disarrayed, and I walk fully out and into the street and
Sin follows suit.
skedaddle on down the road. I think, should we talk to the butcher about
the guy
this?
with him, right?
Yeah. Can we pick him up and stuff? And
Oath has him.
Okay,
alright.
As she's walking out, she looks at the front guards and she says, how much does that guy in there pay ya? Just curious.
They just stare. They don't say anything.
I rattle 10 gold. Won't tell anybody. 10 gold each. How much he pay ya?
They look to each other. 10 each.
How many, a day?
No. You give us 10 each.
Okay.
You're gonna pay 20 gold to talk to these guys?
You promise me you'll tell me the truth.
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah. He doesn't pay us.
He doesn't pay you.
Galker is a scary individual. He's got connections all over the Desserin Valley and into the Sword Coast. He's far too dangerous a man to make angry. And as long as we work for him, we're in his good graces. So he doesn't pay us. We work for free.
He really don't seem that scary.
you know this how? Have you met these contacts? Have you seen these contacts?
They kind of look over their shoulder and they stiff him up and they're like, keep asking questions. You'll see.
Alright, well, you boys have fun playing constable for a crook. Here's 10 gold each.
Should we, I guess we're further down the road with old dude, Larman, and should we talk to the butcher guy about this to let him know what's going on?
No.
I mean, I know he's not really, and I know he doesn't have a whole lot of power, over a rich guy and stuff, because he does seem like he's got contacts, because, he's all golded out and stuff, and blinged out, but
Nice guy.
he's not a nice guy, but...
Well, I think that's a show. It don't make no sense. It doesn't make any sense to me that he'd be torturing somebody over 3 gold pieces, but he supposedly has more money.
Yeah.
Unless that was some sort of threat. I don't know.
Larman spits blood out of his mouth. He said it was the principal.
That does make sense. Trying to keep his reputation. He doesn't want to get walked over.
Well,
I've seen Galker. I've seen Galker demand property from someone and take coins of theirs until it ran them into poverty. And then take the coins and just throw them into the street. He's a monster.
Well, maybe he'll be slain by somebody who deals with monsters.
We can, I'm not an evil person. I do good in the world, I swear. But, something just popped in my mind. Maybe we could just go over there and burn the place down at nighttime. And just just pretend we're out there and not doing anything and just sneak up and really kind of hit him where it hurts. But that's that if I said that's just something uncharacteristic of me that I'm just throwing out there just for a little revenge, because Larman, you don't look so well. And I guess I'm gonna do. Can I check him over and see, if I can help him out at all, or kind of patch him up with
when you examine his wounds, he's injured, but he's not in danger. He will recover over time.
Okay, all right. I pass him the equivalent of an aspirin in herbs and stuff. So here you go. Chew these up and see if you can feel a little bit better. Larman, if his establishment was not there anymore, how bad would that hurt him?
I don't think he would care in the slightest.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Okay. What about if he was in the building and he was trapped? I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna stop.
He stares at you wide-eyed.
Let's go to the butcher.
No, we cannot go to the constable.
Why?
He just kind of looks around. That's why I'm in this position. I happened to tell the constable about the business I had saw on my property, and well, he thought I was speaking to him about his organization. He told me to take this box, and when I refused, well...
What's in the box?
I haven't the faintest idea. Just Galker said it was important to him.
Wait, didn't Gilker hand us the key?
No.
No,
just...
back in my pocket.
Okay. I wasn't sure if he handed it to us, and then forgot he handed it to us.
Okay, well, so Larman, what was the issue on your farm? Let's get down to, why we got you out of that precarious situation.
And were they the ones that were on your farm?
I don't think so. It was very strange. I raised sheep, you see? And I was out with my sheep in a nearby vale, and they were grazing. And as I was there, I saw some people who were out and they were digging. It was near dusk, so I couldn't see clearly. But it was, I don't know, I thought it was peculiar. The next day, when it was brighter, I decided to go investigate. And what I saw was what appeared to be 4 shallow graves, each marked with a pile of cairns. It scared the shit out of me, so I ran straight back to Red Larch.
And he got, so Galker got wind of you were talking to the constable about, and he got paranoid, thought you were talking about him. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's what I gathered, miss.
So basically he just put himself into guilty, like he made himself look guilty, so he might be behind this. Okay. Do you know of... You didn't... I suppose you didn't, dig around in the grave to see who it was. But,
oh no, of course not. Never seen a dead body before. Hey,
well,
thank you for the gifts of Valkarak, and welcome to the family, Zico.
Not the worst thing either. But, alright, well, I guess, we'll see what... Should we go and kind of check it out, or should we go back to Galeford?
I could take you to the grove, show you the site if you'd like, miss.
Okay, alright, yeah, let's get out on down. How long of a walk is it away?
It's about an hour to my farm. Maybe 2 from there to the grove.
Okay. So about a 3-hour walk?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Alright.
Are you able to walk that?
I'll be fine.
I tightened my bootstraps and looked to Oaf and nodded it.
We'll talk more as we get out of town, but, let's go.
Yes.
Right, back to the title page of exposition. So, you guys start to head out of town, with him leading the way. He doesn't talk much, just simply comments about how he first found this vale about a month ago, and it's largely untouched land, so he thought it'd be a great place for him to graze his sheep. Doesn't have much to talk about other than sheep.
Okay.
In Elvish, I'm going to say to Clementine, sorry, Sin. In Elvish, I'm going to say to Clementine, I don't like, I'm not going to do the voice because I'm saying this in another language. Basically, Oaf is going to communicate that we need to deal with Gelker, like, now, or as soon as possible, because a route like that just makes the town worse. And Oaf is just going to say, and I don't, we can't deal with one part of the rot and not the other. And as long as this man's allowed to terrorize that town, we're in trouble.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm speaking in Elvish as well, and she, nods her head slowly. She's like, I agree with you. Also the trail to a fire coal or whoever burned down our forest is going to grow colder. But I do want to help out the town, but I'm also worried about that.
We'll see where this takes us.
Yeah, I am going to help out with Gilker and everything like that. Dispatch of him and his men and stuff. But we'll take care of that. I just know that I got other worries on my mind.
Oh yeah, no, me too. They killed lots of people I care about. So
are you in the High Forest too?
I am. Yeah. Yep.
Oh wow.
I actually. Well, my people, we kind of hide in the woods. We don't really, people rarely see us. They might know us by there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've definitely seen, a couple of y'all's folk, kind of going around and stuff. I just, and walk off and do our own thing.
Yeah, so my one of my best friends was an elf by the name of Dell. Real sweet guy, just real friendly. Last I heard, he was off with some orcs. Real strange orcs too. But yeah.
I guess back in common, I say, Earl Clementine says, so how, Larman, how many of those men in there, like, have you hung around Gaelker a whole lot, or was it just for the time that you were kidnapped?
I'm in enough trouble with Marlandro as it is. I'd prefer not to do anything else that would make him an enemy.
Everything we talk about in this little journey is absolutely confidential, and we won't say anything about it. Your name will never be brought up.
Yeah?
Roll for persuasion? Maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. Make a persuasion check.
Okay. +1. Okay.
It's good enough. He starts to loosen up. He's like, well, I've worked with him for a while now, I let him use some of my land for some less than legal crops.
What do you mean by less than legal? Is it the kind of crops that, get you a little funny feeling, or?
No, ma'am.
Well, what less than legal crops are you talking about?
The kind that will kill you if you try to pick them without gloves.
Oh, okay. So do they make some type of poisons or something? Clementine's actually genuinely interested because, she does,
I don't know, miss. I don't mess with the plants. Galker said that if I even went on that side of my property, that there would be consequences. All I know is I just let that part of my property be used, and he sends men to come and tend to it.
Okay, alrighty. Do you know the name of the crops?
He called them Midnight Tears.
Midnight Tears. Okay. Alrighty. So is he doing anything else with your farmland other than?
I don't know, ma'am. It's best just to not ask questions.
Well, we're trying to get to the bottom of what's going on, so it is best to ask questions, actually. I know that you're trying not to get in trouble, but I promise you, Mr. Larman, we're not gonna get you in trouble.
I don't know if that's true.
Well, we are just trying to make this little town a more hospitable place, and we've already, gotten rid of the cult down under, so,
Yes.
I feel like you can trust us a little bit.
From what I understand, Marlandro was a part of that. So why didn't he go to jail?
I think that because they're probably protecting him. If somebody doesn't protect him, well, then he's gonna be implicated, right?
I don't think so, no.
Well, then I guess we're gonna have to do it the hard way.
You don't understand. I've heard such terrible rumors.
Yeah, rumors don't scare me.
What rumors are they? I'm just curious, honestly. I kind of look at them.
Well, for one, I've heard that Marlandro he is also a member of the Black Network. That he's an informant, and that most of the business that he does is through the Zentarum. But also, he's got his fingers in almost everything. I heard that he was originally from Baldur's Gate, and that he is actually a priest of Baal.
Well then, you should die.
I'm sorry.
The priest of Baal?
Baal.
What is that, Baal?
Baal, the god of murder.
Oh, right. Oh.
Explains his personality.
Does Zentharum ring a bell? Like, is he a part of that?
Yes, that's the Black Network.
Okay, alright.
He is far too dangerous, and if he was involved with the Believers, who knows what other organizations he might be wheeling and dealing with.
How often has he dealt with anyone directly like him himself, or is him ordering others?
I don't know. I'm only loosely associated. He uses my farm, and he's just kind of stammering and stuttering.
Okay,
He's gonna cry.
Clementine's gonna put her hand on his shoulder and be like, "Look, we're not gonna get you in trouble. You're not in trouble. You're just a innocent bystander who got caught up with the wrong people, and we're just trying to help you. We're not gonna turn you into the constable and you know, make you go to jail and all that. You know, you're just a sheep farmer. You're not gonna.
Yeah, as far as I'm considered, this conversation never happened.
Exactly.
Look, we're almost there. And he points off in the distance. And you can see, from where you are, you're several miles outside of town. And you find that there are 4 freshly dug shallow graves here. The earth that was scraped out to make the graves is still piled high in piles nearby. And the smell of decay seeps through the soil and is pretty prevalent here. And there are several vultures circling overhead.
Okay. At this point, I guess, Larman, do you have anything else you wanted to show us? Because I feel like, you know, the less danger you're in, the better it'll be if we're out poking around, and especially if his men are going to be around here. I feel like it'd be best for you to go back to town. Or maybe go back to your little house or whatever.
It might be. But
Or is there a safer place you can go?
I think I'll be plenty safe at home. It's I want to see what happens.
You may see a dead body.
You know, these corpses have they've caused a great deal of trouble. I feel I have to see it through.
Alright, Clementine nods and she looks to Oath and little Sin, and she says, well, do you want to see who these people are, or should we look around a little bit?
We should definitely at least check out the graves and maybe also investigate the area.
Alright.
Any chance could I look around to see if anyone's watching us? Like if there's... or just anything that's out of the ordinary?
Looking around, you have a good view of the surrounding hills from this point. Several miles to the west, you can make out the tiny outline of Red Larch, and the thin dark line marking the long road. Several miles to the north, you see a slender old tower circled by large birds, but nothing else is around here, and you are quite clearly alone.
By large birds?
Yes, ma'am.
What, I'll look alarming and be like, what's that tower over there?
Oh, that would be Feathergale Spire. I've never really been myself, but I heard that Knights of Waterdeep go there, sometimes riding on giant monsters. They keep to themselves, so we generally don't bother.
Well, I'd like to bother with them. Not right now, but you know, here down. Sounds like a cool place to check out, poke our little noses in. But right now, let's look around and see what we can find out.
I guess check out the grave sites first?
Yeah. Are we gonna look around to see what's around it, or do you just want to go ahead and dig on in?
You tell me what you guys want to do.
Are they open pits or like freshly like
They're
dug out and buried?
They're covered up. I look to Oath and be like, do you want to? Are you?
Yeah, well, you know, it's we got to know what's in here. So, Oath will kind of kneel down and you know, whisper a blessing of just, you know, the forest, and you know, kind of apologize to the dead for disturbing them and start gently pulling away the earth.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull away at the earth too with Oath. And we'll just do one at a time.
Okay. With you guys using spells and your hands to remove the soil from the graves, you're able to excavate the corpses. You find one, a dwarven male dressed in robes, a human female dressed in a black surcoat with a red axe, and a human male warrior dressed in a black cloak with strange stony armor, and one male human in a white robe with black feathers at the shoulders.
What was the second one again? I apologize.
Oh, you're okay. Actually, why am I holding the book for?
Was it an elven? Was it an elven female? From what I remember, or human female?
Hold on, I'm gonna copy and paste it.
Okay, I'm just trying to write it down and make sure I don't forget it.
Nope, I lied. I don't know where it went. Side tracks should be missing delegation. Rumors in Red Bar. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna paste them in the chat.
Okay.
Our first one is a male dwarf dressed in artisan robes. The next is a female human warrior dressed in a black surcoat with a red axe. Then there is a male human warrior dressed in a black cloak with strange stone armor. And the last one, a male human in a white robe with black feathers at the shoulders.
Okay. So how long do they look like they've been dead for? Can I tell? Or
Let me see here. Okay. Trying to gain any information from the bodies is going to be a series of checks. So trying to determine how long they've been dead or the cause of death will be a medicine check.
okay. Well, I critically failed.
They died
They're
today.
definitely dead. They're definitely dead, guys.
Could I try?
Absolutely. Yeah, anybody can try who wants.
Alright, so medicine, you said?
Yes.
Hey, there we go.
That's a
Okay.
lot better.
So you're able to determine that they have died very recently, within the past couple days. And as you look at them, you see that they've all died from different causes. It looks like the man in the stone armor, his body is riddled with puncture wounds, about a half an inch in diameter. And you're able to determine that these are arrows that killed him. The male human in the white robe with the black feathers, you can see that his body is littered with very large bruises, and that when you examine the corpse, particularly in these areas where the bruises were, it looks like he was struck by a very large bludgeoning object, and that he was most likely crushed to death. And when you examine the corpses of the other two, the two that have the one in the black robes, the other one with the black coat with the red axe, you can see that these two look like they were dropped from a very large height, as their injuries seem to stem from their entire body, and their corpses are badly damaged.
Okay. Is there any like cliff sides around here?
Zero.
Zero.
Where you are
Okay.
standing is completely open. But as you pull the corpses out of the graves to examine them, you're able to see that there's, in the bottom of the graves, there's a couple objects that have been left there as well. that seem to have been hidden along with the corpses.
And they are?
Well,
Can I, real quick, can I look down the road to see if there's anybody coming, or like kind of look around just to make sure that no one's
you are
coming down
alone.
the road?
You're good.
Okay, alright. Alright, I just wanted to make sure.
Studying the bottom of the graves, you're able to see couple things. There's broken arrows that have been thrown in there, a discarded javelin, a ripped portion of a tattered gray cloak, and feathers. There are a large amount of feathers hidden in the bottom of the graves. And these feathers are all quite large, being at least 12 inches upwards, and some of them upwards of 2 feet long. Whatever left these feathers behind was quite large.
And they're not the same as what's on the white-robed?
They are not. No, these ones, the feathers on the robe are black in color, and they look like they were dyed. Whereas these feathers, they are a natural brownish color. And if anyone would like to make a nature check? 12 is sufficient. You recognize to be feathers from a giant vulture.
I didn't do much better.
Giant vulture feathers? Why would they be under a dead body, though?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Well,
I mean, we do know that there are giant flying creatures over there, around the tower. Are they vultures over there? I don't know.
They are very far away. You could see the shape of them in the air, but it's much too difficult to get a good look and try to determine anything else.
This may be the work of, or this may be connected to that tower over there.
Do me a favor. Anyone willing, just roll a history check. Woo, Oaf, killing it. Alright, Oaf, being a native of the area, coming from the High Forest, you know that the Mirabarian dwarves, they often fashion themselves in black and red. And as you look to the corpses of the dwarven man wearing the black artisan robes, and the human woman wearing her black surcoat with a red axe, you can determine that they are from Mirabor.
Wait, do you think these are the people that went missing?
Yeah, most likely.
Okay.
Larman speaks up. You think they're from the Mirabor delegation?
It's just a hunch, but it's looking that way.
But where's the rest of them? The delegation was supposed to be huge. Over 12 people strong.
Do you think maybe they're down there, you know, they might have gotten killed? And because we did find some Mirabor stuff down in the cult area, I believe.
Did we investigate every spot of that underground area?
We didn't.
did.
Oh, we did?
No, you did.
Oh, I thought. Okay.
Yeah, you went one way the first time, and then the second time you looped around the other way, so you saw all the rooms.
Okay, alright. I was just, because we didn't, like, see all of the big room, and I was wondering if there was, like, other rooms attached to that, but I suppose not. So, what was it that we found that said Mirabor on it? It's just, like,
It's like
there were bars?
iron bars?
Yeah, iron bars? Okay. You know, I think maybe they might have been part of the delegation as well.
It might be worth looking into where they disappeared at, like on the road. Like there might be some sign or something of what happened.
Yeah, some sign of combat or anything like that. But who knows, you know, when it could have happened. or where
How
it
far
could
down the
happen.
road?
Maybe, exactly, you know.
Hmm.
Well,
I'm gonna move you guys to our Desrin Valley map, and you'll
okay.
see that I've added a couple key points here. We have Red Larch here, and that currently you guys are at the site of the Shallow Graves, and thanks to Marmon, you know that Feathergale Spire is up on the rocks. Now, as far as the Mirabor delegation, the rumors that you had heard from Kalesa was that they were coming down along the long road from the north. I'm going to switch to a different color so you guys can actually see it. They were coming down along the road from the north. Then they were supposedly heading to the west to Belliard. And then from Belliard, they were going to go south. South down to Wormford and to Red Larch, but they never made it. So it was somewhere after Belliard that they went missing. So looking at your current... I don't know.
And that's a lot of land to cover, you know, just to wander around looking to see what happened.
I'll let you guys look at that for a minute and discussing. I'm gonna go take a quick break for restroom.
Okay. Well, shoot.
If we're at the Shadow Graves and we're somewhere around here, like, instead of going all the way around, we could look at just mostly wild land traveling.
Yeah, we can't cross that river that way. We have to go up to the bridge.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a pretty wide river, I reckon.
It's a not even just wide, it's wild. You don't wanna try and swim that. We have to go to the stone bridge.
I'm not a strong swimmer. Let's
I
see
feel like there's
here.
one person that possibly that has all the information. Just getting it from him won't be so easy though.
Yeah, I don't like that guy, but I think that we could go back to the town. We could go back to Red Lark tonight and sneak in to see how many people are there, and if it's not that many, we may be able to take them out and just kind of maybe restrain Mr. Marlando himself and kind of get some answers.
Also, I might actually be able to do your idea that you mentioned with the fire.
Yeah. But I
Well-
also don't want anybody innocent to get caught in that too, so
Yeah,
If there's no one in there, if everyone in there is part of his group, catching a fire, maybe leading him out the door and taking them out one by one may not be a bad idea.
yeah, but Sim, I know, and I don't want to assume anything about your background, but have you ever seen how quickly fire spreads?
that's true too.
If his building's next to any other building, there's a real good chance that some of the embers from that fire are going to land. And if this place hasn't seen rain for quite a few days, which, I don't quite know that information myself, that could cause a fire that could burn down the town. I think it's easier, getting a little southern here.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. I play another character who's a Texas. She's got a low Texas accent. Named
I'm from Texas, so.
Yeah, he gets that. I kind of fade into him a little bit sometimes. But I think that the best solution here is just to go in and see if we can't, confront this guy with the information that we have.
How about instead of catching the building on fire, we make him think it's on fire?
Can you? Like an illusion?
Something like that. It wouldn't be real great, but it could. If they don't expect it.
I mean, no, but, if he was a priest of
No,
Baal,
you
then
can't do
he
that.
might be.
I misread this.
Well, if he's a priest at Baal, I don't know how much you all know about the human deities, but he can't be allowed to be in polite society. You know,
Mm.
I mean, that god literally just kills people. That's the way they do worship. So
No, I'm not saying that like he's a godly priest or a
yeah,
holy priest. I'm saying that he's he would be able to see through illusions a little bit easier than someone who wasn't
Good.
skilled in
There we go.
magic.
All the known
So,
information.
not to down your idea, Wilson. I'm just trying to rake through our options here.
but if we can get his men to abandon them.
Yeah, his mana definitely seems to be what the real issue is. Because he seems like the type of person that orders others to do everything but doesn't do anything himself. Like, I feel like besides maybe having information on someone, he very much a nobody.
So, what is the party going to do?
Shoot. We need information. That's obvious, but I guess we can go back to Marlando, and this is my idea, because I have Pass Without Trace, and what that does is it makes us a little bit more sneaky, so we could sneak in there, or like through a window or something, or like try to be stealthy about this and just kidnap him or not, or
gather some intel.
Yeah.
So what's the plan? We're sneaking up to Feathergale Spire?
No, should we?
What are we talking about right now?
Well, we were talking about going to Marlando and trying to, I guess, beat him for information about, some stuff. Because, I mean, he played guilty, because Larman didn't know anything about the men, and all he did was run to the constable and told him about that. And then Marlando played guilty, thinking about that. He was ratting him out, and then they scooped up Larman and beat him and stuff like that. And I'm just wondering if he's just basically got the guilty face on and stuff, and that he's behind these deaths.
Okay.
And if he would know a little bit more about, but this is all just like what I've gathered so far.
So think about maybe possibly just stealthily sneaking in the building at night and just seeing what we can overhear or see.
Okay. So is that the plan? Back to Red Larch and try to beat information out of Marlandro.
Maybe. Oh, what do you do?
I don't want to beat him for information. I want to beat him to get him out of town or kill him. Because
gather some kind of information that would make him decide himself to leave town.
Yeah, that's the idea. But I think a petty tyrant like him would be better served, dead.
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, like I feel like maybe we beat him and get what we can, and then just.
Or is there maybe a way we could try to lure him out on his own?
Oh, maybe with a few men, we'd have to, probably get through his men first, and then get to him.
I like how I threw Gauker at him, and now that's all he can think about.
Maybe we can go try and see if we can. Is the farm close?
He wanted. What if we got that and baited him with it somehow?
I think. I think if he really wanted that box, he'd be able to go in there and get it himself.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And he did say it was just the principle. It was just worth 3 gold. Or what he's, told us. It could be worth a lot more.
Or just seeing if we'd be willing to do whatever he wants.
Yeah, we could just work under his guise for a minute and then just, backstab them in the end,
Yeah, that could turn south so easily.
That could turn south so easily, and I wasn't very nice.
Well, I think it's time we make a decision.
Oh.
So Feathergale Spire, what was that all about again? It's people that...
It's it's a big tower. There's huge flying birds around it. And that's really all you know.
Okay. Alright, yeah, honestly, I think going back to Red Lark would be our best bet. And seeing how many... I heard that laugh. I mean...
Hey, this is tower. This tower. Yeah, let's go back to town.
Unless we should go to the spire.
Well,
Honestly, the only thing about the
somebody
spire...
said it earlier. When you guys found out about the feathers, they were like, "Oh, but there's giant birds over there." Like somebody already made the connection, but we're stuck on Gale
That's
Kirk.
the thing is I realized the birds that were found this or around that spire, but
I also think
we actually gather.
Yeah, I think we're also spending too much time around town, so let's go over there to Feathergale Spire, kind of scout it out a little bit, see what we can find out.
Are you sure that's what you'd like to do? We can totally go back to town.
Oh my goodness.
Alright, 30 more minutes, let's decide this.
You know what?
I have to play devil's advocate, man. You guys were dead set on bringing justice to Red Larch and ousting Galker. I'd love to give you the opportunity.
Oh my! You know what? You wanted to unseat this tyranny of rottenness. Let's go do that. We're gonna go to Red Lark, and that is my final answer.
Let's go back to Red Larch.
That's my final answer. Oh Lord!
All right, so.
And I've got my inspiration.
We have a couple hour trip back to town because we're already several miles out and in the hills. During that time, we can come up with a plan.
Oh, will it be dark by the time we get there? Get back to town?
Yeah, sure. It's winter, and sun has been going down quite early, so it would probably be like 4 o'clock. It's not dark yet, but it's definitely the sun is getting real low.
All right. So I say we. There was some trees around that barber shop. I say we sneak in there and see, and just watch to see how many people leave, and see, because we knew that there was like at least a dozen people in there, and if a lot of people leave, then we'll be able to go in there and kind of poke our little heads around. What are we going to do about the men, though? Could we might be able to just pay off the people up front, because I mean they let go of information for some gold. We might be able to just be like, hey, go down, and get yourself something else, or well, I guess they have alcohol there too, but
that took about 20 gold pieces from me.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of gold. And that was just for information. I think to abandon him, we'd have to pay for them to relocate permanently. I think the better plan is to go talk to the other people, because if we know that Melandro's in the cult, maybe we can convince one of the people to snitch on him.
That's an idea.
it is an idea. Are you talking about the outside people? The gentleman at the door, or the people inside?
No, I'm talking about the people who were part of the cult.
That's in the meat locker?
Oh, in the meat locker. Okay. That is an idea. Okay, yeah, let's
In the meat locker.
Yeah, let's do that.
let's go in there and tell them that we know that they are in ties with Mr. Marlando. Saying that right, Mr. Marlando, yeah.
We could also just tell them, yeah, that, and then also that they'll be charged with his crimes if they don't rat him out.
That's a good idea. And then, I still want to know how many people are going to be in there. Because I don't want to like go in there and just get killed by a dozen men.
Yeah, that would be nice.
So where to first?
We're gonna go to the butcher. Yeah, the butcher, the constable. Where's Larman? Did we just leave him at his house?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
he did decide to go
he
back
would have
home
broken
because he's
away
safer
from
there.
you during travel and went back home.
Okay.
Yeah, he did say he would be safer there. I will be right back.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess we're just gonna mosey on there.
Toronto,
to the butcher and
gosh,
see what's going on.
dude, welcome back. How have you been? I've missed you like the past week, 2 weeks.
Also
You've been
walking,
MIA.
so, yeah.
Assuming you're doing family
A little bit
stuff, gearing up for
comfortable.
the holidays.
Poor butcher,
Hooray.
whatever you're wearing.
Oh, yes, just give me a moment to put my hat on. And he puts on the constable hat and badge and looks back at you. All right.
So
we were... Go ahead, Quinn. Oh, okay. Well, we were hoping to maybe speak with the prisoners.
Oh.
Are they gone?
Well, no. Elbari Meliko is still here. But most of the others have been, I'll just be honest. We don't have a place for keeping prisoners. I've just been kind of housing them until they agree to leave town on their own will. And, Albari's the only one that's still being stubborn.
Well, alright then. Maybe we can convince this Albari. You know, we found evidence that the barber is a part of the cult.
Marlandro? No.
You know, Constable, I got a question for you there, friend. This man has been hurting people in your town
My
for
town?
a while. Yeah, Red Larch, you know. Not your town, but, you know, the town you live in, you have neighbors.
Son, I am but a butcher. I do my best to try and help out around the village, but there's not only so much I can do. But if I know anything, it's that Marlandro Galker is a fine and upstanding citizen. I mean, he's just a simple barber. What are you accusing him of?
have you talked to the man?
Well, yeah, he cuts my hair every Sunday, and he kind of, pats the sides of his head to show off his fresh cut.
Is it Sunday?
You know, I'm a woman. I'm a woman of the forest, my friend, and we were walking out there, and I happened to speak with.
You gotta join another game, dude.
I happened to notice that there's some strange things going on in your town. In regards to the fact that Marlandro was wailing on that good old farmer that you sent us to check in on, and his men were just wailing away on him, and we heard rumors the other day that Marlandro was
Are you doing Sundays at 7 or
shaking
Thursdays
people
at 7?
down in the street. So, we need to talk to your prisoner, because we know for a fact that that Marlandro is part of the cult. We just need the prisoner to corroborate.
And Mr. Constable, if I could say, we're not trying to stir up trouble or anything. We're just trying to quell the trouble, and we were the ones that found out the cult and took them out and stuff, and help your town out. We're not trying to.
Let's just pretend for a moment that everything you're saying is true, which it can't be. It's impossible. But let's say that Marlandro really is up to no good. What would you have me do about it?
How many... Does he have a lot of connections around here? Like, how does he...
Well, I mean, Gelker may be but a simple barber, but I've always known him to be a bit of a nobleman, coming from the Sword Coast. And he brings his family's money into Red Larch and provides food for those that can't afford it. Shelter for the needy. Most of the establishments around Red Larch survive on Gelker's funds alone.
Okay. That changed things a bit.
I don't buy it.
No?
No, I don't.
Can we do an insight check just or can we look at the barber or the butcher to see if he's telling the truth?
Sure.
Or is bewitched?
He is telling the truth.
I still want to talk to the prisoner.
Yeah, I'm not changing my mind about that. I still want to talk to them as well.
Okay. He says, "Yeah, come on, right this way." And he takes you from the main establishment to the smokehouse nearby. And when he opens the door, you see that there is a slender woman wearing a very fine silk dress that has been thoroughly ruined due to the smoke and the moisture in the air. She looks haggard, and she looks at you as you open the door. She sneers. "I have nothing to say to any of you."
I'm sure you'll change your mind, and I look at the constable and I say, we can take it from here. She won't be
He puts his hand on the door. "What do you intend to do?"
We're not gonna kill her or anything like that. She's more worth to us alive than dead.
He looks more alarmed. "What do you intend to do?"
Shakes his head. Shakes his head. Her head. "No, constable. What my friend means to say, we're not going to harm this lady. We're just going to talk and let her know what we know and what we think, and see if she's got any information."
"And do you speak true with me right now?"
"Constable, if you want to stay, you can stay, but I don't want to hear you contradict the things we've said about Gelker. If you want to protect your friend, if you want to think those things of your friend, that's fine. But I have a very different experience than you with that man, and I think it's a little strange the way that everyone in this town seems to have two completely different understandings of that person. So I just want to clear this up. That's all."
He points his finger at your face and he shouts, "Marlandro Gelker is a good man!" And he storms off.
He's got this town in his finger, because if the constable thinks that, or the butcher thinks he's a good guy, most people are gonna think
Butcher.
he's Constable Butcher, yeah.
I hope. What's her name? The girl at the tavern is not the same way.
Oh no, I'm sure Miss Kalesa would agree with us and everything with everything we've done. I need to be right back.
So Oaf
by saying I hope Kalesa, that entirely just confirms Kalesa's gonna side with Gelker.
Alright, miss. I got a few questions for you. Okay?
Well, I don't have any answers.
I'm sure you do. Because here's the thing. We know about some of the crimes of one of your fellow people here, and you're the only one left to answer for them.
You think I don't know that? And she gestures to the smokehouse she's being kept in.
Well, the thing is, these are bigger crimes than what you've committed. Big enough crimes that would see, various other punishments may be meted out by the proper authorities.
Like who? What proper authorities?
Oh, maybe we could tell people that you're working for the Zentarum.
Is that a crime?
To some people it might be. To the wrong people it might be. I don't have any problem letting it slip to the people who don't like the Zents. You want to be hunted for the rest of your days by people who work for the Xanathar and for the Xanathar's Guild or one of the other rival gangs out there?
The Xanathar won't come this far down into the Sword Coast. They have no interest in the Desert Valley. You're bluffing, and it shows.
Alright, well, now we'll just see. I've also got some pretty powerful friends in the woods, and they don't like people who just hurt people for fun.
Are you not threatening me to hurt me with fun?
No.
Are you enjoying this? Does it make you feel big?
It doesn't. I hate it. Honestly, I'd like to speak true with you, but you're not speaking true with me, so I gotta resort to these kind of threats. And I hate it. Speak true with me, I'll speak true with you. You know Marlandro is a part of the cult.
What cult?
The cult you were a part of, jeez. Look, we understand that you might not want to admit what you were a part of. So,
I don't know what you mean. The Believers was nothing more than a social party for the city council. And you and your friends have given everyone a most unpleasant idea of what it is that we do.
What is it that you do?
We protect the
town.
Tell
me. From what?
From the wrath of the ones interred down below.
Okay. What is interred down below?
You saw the tomb of the moving stones?
Yeah, the rocks that float around and don't do anything other than float around.
When they move, it is a sign of destruction and the downfall of Red Larch. They moved, and then you arrived in town. I think it is you four that will be the downfall of Red Larch. Not me, not the Believers, and certainly not Melandro Galker.
And so Melandro, did you ever hurt anybody in protecting this town?
Definitely not.
You never hurt anybody. Then why did people break into the Swinging Sword and try to kill us?
Who did that?
A couple of weird cultists wearing stone armor.
Stone armor?
Mm-hmm.
You sound ridiculous.
There's also the guy in the temple itself that was wearing similar armor.
Or the literal child that you were starving in the pit.
He was in no real danger. It is a rite of passage that all of the Believers must go through. He would have been tended to before any real harm came to him.
I don't believe you, because you don't know that.
You don't need to believe me. He is not your child.
Well, the fact of the matter is, in my society, every child's my child. So, I'm going to tell you that, you've never been out in the wilds. You don't know how long it takes someone to starve. You don't know what that boy's constitution is. You don't know what you don't know. So I'm going to tell you again.
And what I'm going to tell you is that you have no concrete proof that the Believers have committed any crime. And that you are illegally holding me here, Constable Harbrick. I will not be ran out of town like the others. I have done nothing wrong. And with these make-believe stories about men in stone suits, you can just leave.
Well, you know, I'm starting to get real tired of the way that these people treat people who are trying to help them.
Why is no one doing an
real
insight
sick
check?
of it. Sim, don't we have some proof of, didn't we find something out in the woods that might prove these people are part of, and Oath kind of looks back and, like, winks to say, like...
Sorry. Yeah, there was an object that we found buried. Very incriminating? Yeah, incriminating object.
Good for you, dear.
Well, I don't think this is getting us anywhere. You have fun in the smokehouse there, dear, because you're going to be here for a while.
Oh, I'm sure. Constable Hardwick will not hold me here forever.
I'm gonna... Oh, gosh. I really just... So, nothing came of this? She didn't tell y'all anything?
No.
Alright. Maybe you think that maybe Constable Butcher is not... Maybe he's under the hand of this network. The Black Network. Or whatever. Maybe he's like...
Maybe?
You know... Or maybe he's getting threatened or something. Maybe he won't speak up. I don't know. I'm gonna cast, Are we leaving?
No, you can do whatever you want. What do you want to do?
If you think you can get something out of her, she's not talking, so...
Are you sure?
Maybe
that
we'll just have to go to her house and...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'll give you the key. You're more than welcome to go and examine my property. I am that assured that I have broken no laws, and that I am being held improperly and illegally.
Why did the sinkhole open up under the town?
Because you have angered the gods.
That's a convenient belief.
The only thing that we could have done is, to anger your god or whatever, is kill that necromancer that was, a crazy loon. That's all we did before.
What are you speaking about?
Look,
Lord of Lancelot?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is or what that means. All I know is that in the days before you arrived, the stones began to move. And then this great catastrophe fell, Red Larch. I think that those interred below were warning us, and that it is you who should leave before a great tragedy were to come to us again.
Clementine, a little bit of a short fuse, as I'll show you tragedy, and she's gonna, not cast infestation, but she's gonna hold it in her hand, and she's gonna have, like, little bugs, flying around her hand, and she's like, are you sure that you don't...
What are you doing?
Want to... And I hold
Get away
it
from me!
To her, and a few of the little, bugs, jump up on her. I'm like, are you sure you don't want to tell us anything?
You monster!
Well, we think you're the monsters around here.
She scowls,
hurting people.
And she looks at you. She's like, that's why your people were destroyed in the high forest!
I'm gonna cast infestation on her. And I don't care about the damage, she can take the full damage.
Sin's not gonna stop you.
It does one poison damage. And she moves in the direction of the north.
she starts running around in circles screaming, ah! Ah! And she's spinning around. She slams right into the wall of the smokehouse and just falls unconscious on the ground. I mean, she's a commoner. She's got like 4 hit points.
Oh no, I could have killed her.
Oath walks over and feeds her a good berry.
She wakes up, still covered in bugs. Ah!
Oath sits and keeps her down. does her best to just sit there with her and say, "You are telling tales."
I speak no untruths!
And yet you keep lying.
And you knew about us,
How did you know about what? Yeah, how did you know about the high forest burning?
What do you mean? We're from Red Larch, we could see the smoke!
Do you know who's behind it?
I do not.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, I'm sure!
So, another question I have for you then is, I guess, if you, I don't want,
Hey, thanks
I'm
for
not
the
going to
business.
have my friend do something like that again. I think we can hold off on things like that. But I'm going to just leave you with this. If what you were doing is moral and just, and if all you were doing was protecting the town, why so secretive? If the gods...
Because we were chosen! We were the
you.
chosen few of those interred below.
Ooh, okay. Well, it did you a lot of good.
It is you! You are a blight upon Red Larch! Your presence will bring about great calamity and destruction! We have seen it! We read it in the stones!
I don't think we're getting anywhere with her.
No.
You could, insight her at any time to see if, if she's being honest or if she is actually telling stories.
Oath doesn't. Oath is just too far.
Oath is still convinced she's full of lies. Everything she says is a story.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
nope. Yeah.
No.
Send balls, but
So,
she's just
Clementine,
bullshit.
through all of this, you can't tell if it's truth or lie, but she certainly believes everything that she has said. She has no clue what you're talking about when you refer to the Lord of Lance Rock. When you mention men in the stone armor, she has no recognition of what you mean. And she genuinely feels that the believers were doing what was in the best interest of the town.
Alright. Oh, I'm gonna, Clementine's gonna apologize for her rudeness, and,
She's crying on the
whenever
floor,
you just, whenever
cradling
you
her
just...
insect bites.
I've, waved away that cantrip, but Clementine's just gonna apologize and be like, look, you don't go around telling people that's why you're that far down and stuff like that. That's just rude. But we're just trying to get to the bottom of things, and whenever things are amiss, we try to figure it out. And you were a part of this cult that was,
We weren't a cult.
it was a cult. Whether you want to believe it or not, misbeliever, it was a cult. There was things going on that was out of your knowledge that you didn't know of, and I'm not gonna blame you for that. So I guess we're gonna, skedaddle alone and lock you back up in here. And
No! Haven't you done enough?
I mean, that's a Constable Butcher's, say to let you go or not. That's not up to me.
You could just leave the door unlocked.
Tell you what, if you give us some information about Gelker, maybe we can.
What information do you need about Gilker?
How about the fact that that he was beating on somebody when we came to his shop?
Gilker's business is his own. It is not wise to get involved.
So you do know that he's a bad person, and yet
Bad?
you chose.
You just threatened me with physical violence to get what you wanted. How are you any different than Gelker? Hey, 10 more. Woo!
Because what we want is not to enrich ourselves or make ourselves more powerful in your town. All we want is to get the people like you who would take advantage of people out.
Who did I take advantage of?
I don't know, but I'm guessing you did, because rich people don't get rich by accident.
Excuse me. I am wealthy because my family worked the quarry for 4 generations.
And how many people did you use, how many people also worked that quarry and helped you?
Hundreds. And they were paid fair wages. And when they got hurt, I paid for their medicine.
So, if you care so much for the people in your town, why do you care so little for them when someone is literally robbing them of their last dime? Why would you put up with a blight like Gelker?
She turns away. She doesn't have an answer for that.
Of course you don't have an answer for that, because you don't care about the people in this town.
I care!
No, you really don't.
Everything I did was for them!
I really doubt that. I think that these people down below helped you enrich your pockets. And if you really cared, you would tell the truth of what you know of Gelker. You would expose him and get him out of town. He is not that scary.
What will I tell you, huh? That Gelker was never truly a believer? That he weaseled his way into the city council? Threatened us? Said that there would be grave consequences for all of Red Larch? That we allowed him his position out of fear? Is that what you want?
Yes. That's great. That's excellent.
Man, I guess we got some answers. Alright,
I think you should tell the constable that.
What
you tell the constable that, he might let you go.
She shakes her head. You don't understand. The constable is one man. In a town with no government. What's he going to do to Gelker?
I mean, she's right about that, you know. Gelker has a little bit more of his hand dipped into this town than the constable does, so...
She stands up, brushes the mud and dirt off of her dress, and she walks right up to Oaf and stares you in the eyes. You pretend to care about this town? Instead of trying to get intel, if you think he's a problem, go handle it.
All right then. We will.
You know, she gave us what we kind of needed, you know. Could just accidentally keep the door unlocked.
Yeah.
You know, a promise is a promise, and you know we close the door. I guess we're gonna skedaddle on and close the door behind us and just not lock it. Is that good with everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, it sounds like she was just brainwashed, you know, into thinking about this stuff, and you know, yeah, she's not exactly all, you know, holier than thou or whatever, but she's not. I don't think she'd go out of her way to hurt anybody intentionally.
How do we know she won't turn us into Gelker or someone else?
Well, because she's the one who told us about Gelker.
That's true, and we could use that information against her, can't we? I look to her.
She just stares at you. Mad.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna talk. And if she does, we know where she is. I'd give Oaf a little wink, because I don't know where she sleeps, but I'll sure as heck find it. Alright, so...
To Gelkers?
To Gelker? Yeah, what, is it nighttime yet?
It is, if you want it to be.
Okay, so how many, on the streets? Is there a lot of people out and about, or is it just, like, everybody's going home?
Nah, it's quiet time. Everybody's going to bed for the night. and you see a large amount of the crowd leaving Galkers as they, and they're all staggering and slurring. They're weaving around in the streets, quite drunk.
I'm gonna roll perception to see if I see one of them is Gelker.
Nope, Galker is still inside.
All right then. Both is gonna.
Did we see leave?
Yeah. How many people did Oaf see leave?
Let's say like 8.
Okay.
All right.
So I gather us all up in a little circle and I speak a few words and wave my walking stick, which is also my druidic focus. It kind of glows a little bit, and I'm gonna be in. Clementine is just gonna be like, I'm gonna make this a little easier, for us to just stealthily do this, and she's gonna cast Pass Without Trace, and everyone has +10 to stealth checks for an hour.
Okay.
But it is a concentration spell, so
that's all right. So then here's a question. We're at Gaukers, and we're going to just walk in the front door.
No, we were.
Is it a 1 or 2-story building?
1 story, I believe.
Is there any window that's way up high?
I'm going to go back. Seedy wooden building. Cluttered shop full of no. Okay, so it's a 1-story building, and if we zoom in on the picture, looks like we have a main entrance at the road, and it looks like there would be a window on the side and another door on the back.
I'd say we go into the back door. Is there anybody at the front door though, keeping watch?
2 guards standing outside.
Okay, well, I would like to.
I have a way to get to the roof.
Yeah, well, I feel like we should go in through the back door or the window or something, or at least peek through the window. Can we sneak around and see what we can see in the window?
Sure. The window looks into the main room, and you can see that there are 2 men standing guard inside. So, coupled with the 2 standing outside, that would be a total of 4 guards.
Okay, and then...
That you know of. We do know there's a back room. So, who knows what's in there?
I kind of want to, wait a little... no, I shouldn't wait a little longer. Well, we could just go in through the back door and see who's in there. Is there a window on the back door, or is it just
no,
like a
just
regular
the
plain old
one door, one window. Window looks into the room in the front. The door seems to lead into the back area.
Okay. Hey, Sin, you said you were a little bit of an illusionist, right? What do you know? Is there anything that you might be able to distract the guards with, like a super hot female just trans? Okay. Just thought.
Well, wouldn't the sound be suppressed? You're in Pass Without a Trace.
Well, I meant of the illusion.
Yeah.
If there was
Well, so let's think about it. You make an illusion of a lady, and this lady emits no sound.
Okay, I could. No, that wouldn't work. I do have thaumaturgy and minor illusion, but I don't know how much I would actually do. I can't actually create a sound or an image of an object.
I say you just
can maybe
kick in the back door. Come out.
Oak would actually like to turn invisible.
Oh.
Mind
Where'd you go?
Using...
Oaf, your invisibility, it's like a blink. It only lasts for a round.
I know.
Okay.
So Oaf will turn invisible and will go to the front of the building and let's see here. I didn't really think this through before I said anything. Oaf is actually going to go to the building, to the front of the building, and from the like tree line area, shout, "Gelker sucks!" and then run back to run back to Oaf.
As he does that, also use like either maybe like I guess minor illusion or thaumaturgy, whichever would be better at it, to make it sound like he ran the opposite, like away from us.
Oh, that's a good idea.
All right. So here's what
As he
happens, right? Now it's Galker sucks. Thaumaturgy, footsteps running away. The guards in the front kind of run over to here. They look around. They're like, "Oh, must have left," and they go back to the door.
Well, it was
Must
worth a
have been
shot.
my imagination.
Yeah, they
Okay.
completely fell for the thaumaturgy, and then they just decided it wasn't worth pursuing.
Well, while they're over there, we can't just, there's no one around, right?
No.
I mean, we could just jump them real quick. You don't want to do that?
Maybe.
I do want to
Ring
point
those
out.
bells.
I do want to point out. It's almost 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Is that like
Well, we can go.
people are still awake, or-
We can go a little bit later, but we're gonna be wrapping up shortly.
Oh, okay. Well, shoot.
Let's thaumaturgy the doors open.
I
Yeah,
could do
that's a
that.
good idea.
I think I could do doors
Try
and
and clear
windows.
the light.
Actually,
Yeah, doors
yeah.
and windows.
We can do the back door and see what's back there, and we can hide in these trees back here.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's do
Mhm.
that. So yeah, we can sneak around.
So you
into
guys
the
are gonna
trees
walk around
and
to the back.
sneak around to
Yeah.
the back.
Sneak.
Oh, yeah, sneak.
Sneak.
You don't need to roll. You don't need to roll. There's plenty of space. You can take the long way. You sneak around to the back. Use thaumaturgy. Try and open the door and discover
It's locked.
it's locked.
Hmm.
Does the front door open?
Nope. It is also locked.
I have thieves' tools. I could try to pick the lock.
Ooh, go for it.
Alright, I'm gonna quietly sneak up to the door and attempt to pick the lock.
Okay.
Dang, I wish I had a spell. That would help you.
I guess it would be dexterity.
Thieves' tools. It should be on your sheet.
Yeah, it brings with it an input value, so I guess it would be
Yeah.
dexterity.
Oh, yes. Yep. The input value dex. 16.
Okay.
So Sin walks up. She puts in her lockpicks and click clack. Almost instantly, you see the door begin to swing open.
Alright, I don't want to open it entirely. I just want to get it unlocked and then zoom back, like quietly
No,
go back to the bushes.
I'm not even making you roll for stealth because with Pass Without Trace, you're definitely going to succeed. But as you open the door, you can see two things. The back area of Galker's shop. It looks to be like his personal quarters. And you can see a bed. And on the bed is a sleeping Galker.
Ooh.
Also
And there's-
next to him, standing, just, nearby, arms crossed over his chest, with a large axe hanging from its waist, his personal bodyguard.
So if we tussle with that guy, it's definitely gonna make some noise, and we're not gonna be able to. Like those other guards are gonna come on in.
Yeah.
How do y'all reckon it is? Which way is the half ogre standing?
Oh, well, let's say Galker's bed. The headboard is against the wall. He is standing with his back against the same wall. so that his vision goes all the way down the room, and he can see both doors from where he stands.
Okay. That's what I figured, but... maybe we can just lure him out and distract him and then just kind of try to take him out, but, I feel like he would yell out for help or something, but... Man, I wish I had silence. That is such a nice
It's also
spell.
like a level 3 spell or level 4 spell.
It is a level 3 spell, I know. Still wish I had it, though.
I think we can just,
Can I use a combination of thaumaturgy and minor illusion to make it look like someone peeked in through the other door, not the back door, but the other door into the main room? Like someone peeked in there and quickly closed it?
Here's the problem with that. That would require 2 separate actions, and once one occurs, he's already on guard, right? He's on watch, and if something were to happen, he would be instantly suspicious and start trying to find the source. Which, aka, we would be in initiative.
I mean, Oaf's gonna make a perception check against the other guys real quick. I just wanna... what are they wearing? Oh, that shouldn't be a disadvantage, sorry. I was anticipating a stealth roll.
Sorry, 17, it's fine.
What are they wearing? How tough do they look? The other guys?
They look like just thugs wearing leather armor, wielding scimitars, and some of them you can see have hand crossbows.
Well, I think we can take out. I think we can handle. If you all want to handle the little guys, I could take the big guy.
Yeah, I think that's a fun assumption, and we can just I do have a spell that is pretty awesome, and it'll hurt everybody within 5 feet of it. But I can move it to where it's at the little guys, so that way you're not going to get hurt.
Well, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, it's pretty long though. I mean, just pull out. I guess I pull out a little scroll.
Either way, we're gonna have to decide. It's getting late.
We're gonna go and do the fight.
Yep, we're gonna go through with it.
All right.
But I do. Oh my god! But I don't want him to run. That's the thing. Does Temple know a little person?
So, you guys resolve that you're gonna go in. You open up the door, and the half-ogre looks in your direction, grabs its weapon, and shouts, "Arrgh!" And the guards come charging in, and they're all in front of you, weapons at the ready. Roll initiative.
Oh.
No, I rolled pretty bad.
Let's see. I did too.
Oh god, we all did.
We all just
Oh my
startled
god,
me.
he's first with an 11?
I guess so.
And that's with Oath getting a +4 to initiative now.
Dang.
Damn. That sucks.
Alright. So, half-ogre. He's gonna who opened the door?
Oh, sorry.
Let's put our positioning more accurate, right? The rectangular room. You guys.
Oath would have come in first. Oath would want anybody to come at Oath first.
So it would be like this, right? And
Sin definitely will try to stay in the back and keep some distance.
you guys are in the door there. There's another room in the back half. And these guys... So, there's the front chamber, and these guys are just coming through the door up there, right? And you guys would, I guess you would still be outside the door, or maybe you're inside the threshold.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So, Big and Ugly is gonna run to the door. He takes that one-handed battle axe and brings it down in one smooth chopping motion towards you.
That'll miss.
Ooh, okay.
Nice. Oh my god, that's a lot of damage.
Alright. Sin's actually going to take a few steps back, or at least enough to stay within 30 feet. Yeah. And then I'm going to cast a Witch Bolt at him.
Okie doke.
Actually, I'm going to use a bonus action first to cast Hex
Ooh,
on him.
Yep, that's a thing that you can do. He's hexed.
Alright, I don't think he has to make a save or anything.
No, it just
Does
happens.
it? Yeah. Also, I can choose an ability that has a disadvantage on.
Yeah, it's for checks though, but it's really never relevant. I don't, unless you choose like strength and I don't know.
I think I'll just go with like dexterity.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna cast Witch Bolt.
All right, Witch Bolt away. That is a miss. Hey, wait a minute. That's 2 leveled spells in 1 turn.
Hex is a bonus action.
Yeah, but if you cast a bonus action spell, the only other spell you can cast is a cantrip.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
so
true.
you'd have to cast.
Yeah, so Eldritch Blast. Look, you get a
Oh,
mulligan.
okay.
Well,
That's even worse.
okay, well.
Dang.
Clem?
Alright, I'm going to cast Flaming Sphere. A 5 foot, it's a lot. 5 foot diameter sphere of fire appears in an unoccupied space of your choice within range. It lasts for the duration, which is up to a minute. It is a concentration, so
Pass Without
Trace is not. Yeah, it goes away. Creature that within 5 feet takes. It must make a dexterity saving throw, or they take 2d6 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one.
Cool.
So I'm going to slap it between all these guys right here.
Oh. Alright, and you get to ram it into somebody right away if you want to make the damage roll for that.
Which one has crossbolts?
2 in the back.
2 in the back? Okay, I'm going to go after that one right there. Because crossbolts are not pretty. So I guess I'll just go boop. Boop.
Alright, so DC 14.
Ooh.
He fails, takes the full 12, and dies a fiery death.
Nice. And everybody else has to make a dexterity saving throw as well because
the end
they're
of their
within
turn.
5 feet. At the end of their turn. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
if they're next to it at the end of their turn. Alright.
Okay.
Oof.
Oath is going to make
They're
3
level- they're
attacks
level 3.
against,
They're fine.
or 2 attacks
They're not
against
gonna die here.
the guy. 21.
Nice.
Hit.
That is 12 points of damage. Oh, nope, I didn't use that for strike. Sorry. Let me
It's okay.
re-roll that. Okay, 21 again.
And 8, and then the extra damage for your to shit is it? The Gloomstalker ability. Dread Ambusher.
Oh yeah, Dread Ambusher. Where is? Oh, you know what? I should probably just turn that on, huh?
It's okay. What is it, D8?
It's a D8, so that's an extra 6.
Okay. He looks badly injured.
That is Oaf's turn.
Alright, Timble, on their turn. He just, I don't know, what would Timble do? He'd probably go like, oh no, and throw a firebolt.
Oh no. Dang.
7 on this thing right here. And then it's the bandit's turn. He'd also run away. Alright, so the bandits, we have 1 with the crossbow bolt. He's gonna strafe over here, and he's gonna fire at Oaf! Pow! That's definitely a miss. The other 2 scimitars running forward in this room that is definitely only 30 feet. That's a big room. And they swing.
The one hits.
All right, you take 5 slashing, and then it goes back to the half ogre. Half ogre shakes his head as he kind of blinks his eyes and tries to realign his vision. He looks at you. He raises his battle axe, and then he grabs it with a second hand.
Oh no!
And swings it down for 9. Come on! All right.
Oath looks bloodied.
Oh no!
Sin?
Alright. This time I'm gonna cast Witch Bolt.
Okay, there we go. Witch Bolt away.
Come on.
That is a hit, and with the extra hex damage, you don't even have to roll. He is at 4 health, so anything from the hex die is going to make him die. As the electricity hits him, his arms flay out to the sides. He throws his battle axe. And falls over dead.
Nice. Good job.
Meanwhile, Gelker is screaming, "Ah! Ah!" And he's, you can see through the door, he's kind of curled up in the corner, and he's like hiding, blanket pulled up to his nose.
Can I hit my hex onto him?
I mean, we really want to.
Yes, I'm gonna move my hex onto him.
Oh god.
Oh, you also with Hex, you make him have disadvantage on not saving throws, but it's ability throws. Yeah, ability checks. So you do get to pick one that he
She
would.
did. She said Dex.
Yeah, I'll do a dex again.
Oh, you did that? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so it is my turn. I'm gonna move my thing over here and slam it into crossbolt number 2, and I can do that as a bonus action.
Yep.
So do I need to just?
Yeah, just re-roll the damage. 3d8.
It's 2d6. 2 fire damage if he fails.
Yuck.
Not very much. Or I'm sorry, if he fails, or 1 damage, yeah, he passed. But I'm still gonna.
Yeah, action for turn.
Okay, yeah, my action is going to be. I'm going to cast here healing spirits concentration. I'm going to cast Cure Wound. Go up behind Oath and cast Cure Wounds on her.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And you heal for 7.
Oof.
Oath kind of shifts her shoulders and looks at this one and says, "Last chance, bud." And she kind of looks, and is there any hesitation
So, who?
in this pet bandit? Right
no.
here? All right. I gave you a chance.
I'm gonna laugh if you miss. I'm sorry. Never mind.
That's 10 points of damage.
Okay.
And I believe that is all I can do.
Timble.
No.
Bleh. Bonfire.
It sounds like something he would do.
Oh, he immolated him alive!
At least done that maybe in the house.
Yep, there's a bonfire inside Galker's now.
Oh no.
Well, there's a flaming spear. I mean, what?
That's true.
Galker's is burning. Let's see. These guys, they look at each other and they book it. They go for the front door.
Can we?
No, let them go. Let them be cowards.
Okay, I take away my flaming sphere. Is the house on fire? Is anything on fire?
There's a couple flaming spots of furniture and miscellaneous things. You can
Like,
stop it from
it
burning
out?
if you can.
Okay, all right. Because
I had a nat 20. I could have killed you.
Oath levels her war pick at Gelker.
Hey! No!
Sin ready to witch bolt and points at that.
None of that!
And
Not necessary!
bugs are gonna, go around Clementine's fingers, and I'm gonna be like, I can make you itch real bad if you don't start talking.
Make you itch real bad? That's a threat.
I'll make you very uncomfortable.
I'll put ants in your pants. You better tell me.
I'll put ants in your pants.
Anything you want, please. This is unnecessary. We can be civilized.
There are 3 things that I personally want. My friends can make 3 demands. I'm sure can make as many demands as they want because we have the power here, little man.
Anything you want.
I want you to write a handwritten note of confession.
To what?
To all the crimes you've been committing. I want you to leave all your gold, every penny, in this establishment. And I want you to leave this town.
If I do these, you'll let me live?
Yep. But just know, my folk can turn invisible, and they'll be watching you for the rest of your life. Every time you think about being a petty crook again, just remember, people like me are watching you.
But, I would like to make a counteroffer.
I look at Clementine and Sin. Are we interested in a counteroffer? How about you just give us what you're going to give us, and then you can do what I told you?
Relax.
On top of, telling us some information.
I think you will like to hear what I have to say. I'll confess to these crimes. I will leave town. I think that would be most advantageous for me anyway. But I leave with my coin intact. If I have to move on, I'm going to need a capital in order to survive. And in exchange for allowing me to keep what is mine, I will give you all the intel that I have collected.
All the intel plus 30 gold.
Oaf looks at Sin and
He
says,
puts his hand out and grabs Sin's and starts pumping it up and down extremely quickly. That is a deal! That is legally binding!
I'm not. No, I'm not convinced.
Actually,
Hold on.
if he tries to reach for Sid, Sid may attack out of fear.
Just slap him.
Opal reach out and say, no, that's... You're gonna give back every single penny you stole from these people.
I have stolen nothing.
Everything... No, that's not what we hear. We hear that you humiliated a man who was on his last coin. We hear that you beat somebody black and blue and made him put illegal crops on his farm.
I didn't make him do that. He came to me asking if there was anything he could do for some extra funding. And because of the coin he earned from Galker, his family's share was able to continue. And he still lives on that land, supporting his wife and children because of me.
You bury dead bodies in his garden.
You also beat him.
No. That was not me.
Who was it then?
You ordered it. You might as well have.
Also not true, ma'am. Look, I deal in information. It's what I do. And I will happily trade it to you, but you must accept my terms.
Listen, I'm okay. Clementine, how is he sitting at this time? Like, what's his position right now? Is he still in bed?
No, he's still in the corner.
Okay, Clementine's gonna sit real close to him, put an arm around him, and look at him. And she still has them little bugs and little critters, and she's gonna let a couple fall on him and be like, look, we know your part isn't there. We know that you know a lot more than what you're saying. We know that you're a man. Yeah. Well, you know what? And nothing is gonna change if you don't start talking. I'm not gonna let you go until I get every bit of little information that I want.
Fine.
Does the name...
Let me up. I have something to give you then. It'll explain everything.
Tell me where it is.
It's there, under my bed. But it's written in code. You're not going to be able to decipher it without me.
How do you decipher it?
Yeah, you're gonna write that cipher down.
I will not. Then I would have no leverage.
You're gonna write it down so we can verify it.
Nope. I won't. You can kill me,
Okay.
torture me, and then you'll never get what I have.
Alright,
I mean, I'm sure there's other people that can, decipher this code, and we're pretty crafty. We can figure it out. We don't need this guy.
Sure, go ahead.
No.
Does he look a little scared?
No, he seems confident.
Damn. Oh, he is going down to the grave. There must be some bigger work in this. Okay. Yeah, I guess, we can go and grab that thing. But I'm gonna stay real close to him. I'm not gonna let him, try to slip out.
Alright. So, when you reach under his bed, there's a small box under there. And inside are several pieces of parchment that are written in a very strange language.
Okay, I guess we'll ask him what it says, the information that he was gonna tell us.
So he starts to read. He's like, okay, you see, I will show you the cipher. Sounds fair? I will show you the cipher. This one here, this is Uck. And this is Fun. And then he starts going through, reading it aloud. And then when he gets to the end of the paragraph, he smiles. As the ink begins to disappear from the spell scroll he just read aloud.
Oh, shit.
Oath will attack him.
You would do that, except it seems that your weapon goes right through him. He still stands in the square ahead of you, but he is no longer on the material plane. He dips his hat towards you, he walks backward through the wall, and you see him run!
I'm gonna run after him. I'm gonna just hightail it after him.
You do, but as he runs, in his incorporeal form, he is able to run through buildings and through trees, through obstacles, whereas you constantly have to divert around, and it's only a matter of time before you lose him in the inky black night.
My goodness, I can't believe we fell for that. Okay, we're just gonna search this room then and see if we can find anything.
You do. You're able to find 230 gold pieces scattered about the room. You're also able to find several contracts. Some of them written in common. Most of them written in what you can only determine to be abyssal. And then you also find scattered around his very fine clothes that he was wearing the day before. Valkarak, thank you for the biddies, buddy. You like
Did
that,
they look
huh?
about my size?
Yeah, sure.
Do any of these contracts confirm that he was a criminal?
Oh, yes, they very much confirm he's a criminal.
Alright.
Good.
I guess that's the only information or evidence we need, I mean, he did get away, however, we have incriminating evidence against him. Also, I would really like to check on Marmon and just...
Most importantly, you have his gold. That was
Yeah,
the
we
one
have
thing that he was trying to keep.
Yeah, we have his 230 gold, so...
Which, between the four of us, comes out to 57.5, so 57 gold and...
Cough, 3 of you.
I'm just gonna split... I'm gonna share with Timble.
he made a bonfire. He said, "Oh no."
That's right, he did.
That was pretty funny, but
Very nice. Well,
yeah,
we accomplished something.
yeah, we did accomplish something today, and that's what I'm happy about. And we got that kid out of that boarding house. But we do need to.
Definitely a fun session. I had a blast.
That's good. That's good.
How much? Oh, you gotta.
Alrighty. Thank you everyone so very much for being here. Appreciate you. Hopefully you had a good time. If you did, make sure you hit that follow button. If you haven't already, join us in the Discord. That's where you need to be if you want to get involved in the game yourself. And before we log off, let's say thanks to everybody. Valkarak, Neku Bard, level 3, Tarantagash, and Zico, and Florgs, Gizmo Storm. Thank you all for the bits, the cheers, the subs, the follows. Without your support, this could not continue to happen, so it really does mean a lot to me, and thank you. I will see you guys later. I hope you have a happy holiday, and hopefully we are back tomorrow at 7 for Sashka and the Thick Boys. I will see you then.